And we are live. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Coffee with Jeff and Bedros, episode number 5. My man, what's up?
How's it going, man?
We are here. Let's do this.
Awesome. So let's start with our weekend review. What exciting things you have happening or going on last week?
Well, what exciting and wonderful things do you have going on this week?
Because we always mix it up, and then London's got to like flip through the slides really fast to catch up for our mistakes. So we're back on track.
You're welcome. I got you, girl. All right.
So I was on the Barbell Business podcast for the second time this week. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
We talked about like the missing, what most people are missing nowadays in their marketing, which you have become a master of, which is content marketing and putting yourself out there, getting people to connect with you, on a deeper level, getting them to know they can trust you before you actually ask for the sale or ask for the offer. So we went into that into great detail. We tried to get off that topic, and it kept coming back to the same thing. And that's just what most people. It's the things that an agency can't do for you. Like you have to do it, kind of thing.
Yeah, you know what? Content marketing, dude, is the fastest way for anyone to really position themselves as an expert and a person of authority in any niche market. And it's funny, I wrote an email this morning to the team, and the email talked about how when we create enough content where we can position ourselves as the experts and authority in our space, in our franchising space was the topic, it really makes the job of our sales team easier. They get less objections, they get more applications, and so this works for every industry, no matter if you're a one-on-one personal trainer, group training, whatever it is, content is king.
Yeah, I mean, and with your FitPro newsletter, you had that down for years now because that was an idea you had. How many years has that been going?
Oh, man.
8?
Since 2006.
Oh, so even like 11.
Yeah, 11 years now.
So 11 years ago, you already knew that content was a problem for people to keep up with. Yeah. And even today, like that's one of the things that with fitness marketing in our agency, the first step, if they're not producing their own content, we just tell them, go into FitPro newsletter, grab any article over the past, I guess, 11 years. Yeah. And put that in front of your ad, so at least they consume, the article first before they consume your offer, and that'll make the offer last that much longer before it goes stale. Because right now people are just going on Facebook. If you have an audience of 30,000, and every time they go on Facebook, they just see offer after offer after offer. It's just like emailing your list, an offer every single time.
Every day. It really does create a disconnect, man, when people just hit their list. And by the way, your list could be, everyone should start looking at their list. It's no longer just email. Your list is Instagram, your list is Facebook, your list is YouTube. I was telling someone the other day.
Messenger now, Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger. I was telling Jason Phillips, the nutrition guy, right? He was in a coaching session with me, and I said, hey, how big is your list? And I forget what the number was. I said, well, how many times a day can you email your list without pissing them off? He goes, once. I said, well, now how many times can you post on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and through Messenger? He's like, shit, a lot, as long as it's content. And the whole thing that I'm talking about now is like create your massive following and then go content, offer. And it's a 4-to-1 ratio. We're seeing so many great conversions happening easily.
Awesome. The other exciting thing that I did, and you did as well, is we went to UFC 214 and saw the Jones versus Cormier 2.
Oh, did you see the apology that Rogan put out there? He even, do you remember he even said it? He goes, there we are. So Joe Rogan, he goes up to Cormier right after the fight. He goes, I know it's bad etiquette to interview the.
It's like it was the rule he made up.
Yeah.
It's his rule.
And then he violated his own rule, and the guy, I don't know if you guys saw this, London, but the guy was just crying, and he had this like sad look on his face. His
still
brain,
wobbly.
Yeah, I mean his brain was just mush in that moment. And anyway, obviously it was in bad form that he interviewed him, but he apologized and manned up about it. But man, that was a good fight, huh?
That was a great fight. Yeah, I think that fight made the whole show.
Yeah. What about who fought with the women's fight?
That was Cyborg. I can't remember the other. It looked like a Real Housewife of Orange County. But
yeah.
She was tough. She lasted a lot longer than anybody gave her credit for. Like they thought she'd be done in the first round, and she made it to round 3.
Yeah, she did. Now I got to show people here. If you guys can see these 2 empty seats, actually right here, and right next to that empty seat, you see a really broad shoulders. That's The Rock. Yeah, that's The Rock. And what's really cool is, because I get bored out of my mind even during a great fight, is I counted 26 people came through and took a selfie with him, and he was gracious, to every single person, put his arms around them, shook their hands. You can tell by his body language. And then over 50 people stopped by. I think I lost count of 52 people stopped by to say hi to him.
Yeah.
And every single person you can tell he was really genuine with. And it's no surprise why The Rock is such a phenomenon right now. And he lives what he practices.
If we knew he was going to be there, we probably would have paid the extra money to be down there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'd be the guy, though, to go take a selfie with him. And he like punch me. Yeah. Look at me. Look at me. We're twins, right? He's like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. And so I heard you had your Fit Body University.
Yeah, we had, I think, our 19th Fit Body Bootcamp University. Yeah, there it is right there. And so every 2 months, we get all of our brand new Fit Body Bootcamp owners who haven't opened up their locations yet to come to the headquarters. Before we do it at a hotel, but now we do it at the headquarters. And so this is class number 19, if you will.
Nice.
And our brand new Fit Body Bootcamp owners, great group of people, about 40 of them. And I asked Josh not to flex, but that asshole flexed anyway.
I think he's cheering or something.
Anyway, yeah. What is he doing? Yeah. Yeah, what is he doing? Anyway,
Showing off
whatever.
his new tattoo.
Yeah, from now on, he's going to be standing in the back. Yeah. Yeah, so that was fun. That was really cool to be able to welcome so many Fit Body Bootcamp owners on board. And then what else did I do, man?
That's the second one you had at the HQ, right?
Yes, second one that we had at the HQ. Yeah. And then here...
Yeah, you hit a milestone this week on
I
Instagram
did.
Or Twitter. What is this?
This is Instagram, right? Yeah, on Instagram I hit 12,000, which is nothing compared to what the rest of the world has, like 200,000 followers plus. But I was hovering around 11,000 followers for, I don't know, weeks. And then Randall Pitch from LiveFit, I don't know if you guys see like LiveFit apparel. Mm-hmm. Weird story, man. Apparently he used to buy my courses and stuff back in the day when he was a personal trainer at Bally's. And then he worked for our mutual friend, Alicia Lopez, in Long Beach.
Nice. As
a personal trainer. And then created his own brand, LiveFit, and it took off. It's now a multi-million-dollar company. He was at the HQ. We were hanging out, shooting the shit, talking business. And we took a picture in front of the BK elevator. And he posted it up. And that night, Chelsea texted me. She's like, dude, you're just getting hundreds of followers. And so, nice. Yeah, big thank you to Randall there from LiveFit for getting me over 1,000 followers. So I just need about 20 other big influencers to come to the headquarters and take a picture with me. Since I'm reclusive, I'm probably not going to come to you. Come take a picture with me. I promise you I'll help you make millions. And then you just help me grow my following. It's a fair trade. Yeah.
Nice. And you almost didn't make the show today.
I know. So I'm going to share the depth of this story in the book that I wrote, Man Up. But a couple years ago, I sold my GTR, my Nissan GTR. I've always been a big race car fan. I've gone to tracks before and raced cars. I've also raced them on streets and spun out and hit curves and messed up cars. But anyway, so I had a 2011 GTR. I sold it in late 2014. And Nissan said that they're going to come out with a new body style, which is a hybrid and really cool, in 2018. Well, word on the street is it may not come out till 2019, 2020. I couldn't wait any longer.
Yeah.
So me and my son are big Nissan GTR fans. I've had like the BMW M1, which is pretty much the M3 in a one body, and that thing flew. Anyway, a collector from Japan bought that from me. I had a 64 Shelby Cobra that I bought from Dax Shepard. Had a whole bunch of fun cars. Anyway, the GTR was always my favorite. And so my son and I flew to Dublin, California and got a new GTR. And there she is. Got a new GTR, there she is. Nice. And she was really fun to drive. And so we flew out there yesterday, Sunday. The plan was to buy it, enjoy it out there in Northern California, and then drive back today. Then my son goes, hey, Dad, isn't there going to be a lot of traffic on a Monday? I said, yeah, there might be a lot of traffic. He goes, do you want to just drive back today? I said, sure. So we hit the road at around 2:30 in the afternoon, and we were flying down the Grapevine. To not incriminate myself, I won't say what the speed was, but I can tell you that there was 3 digits majority of the time. Yeah. So it's a really, really fun car. Anyone who's into fast race cars and supercars, this is the car you want to get. It's very forgiving, and it makes anybody a great driver.
This one's street legal, right? Your last one.
My last one was not street legal. This one, for the next 6 days, is still street legal.
Oh, you decided to get some other modifications?
Perhaps. Perhaps I can't leave a good thing alone. I can't leave a good thing alone, yeah. Well, it's both. It's paddle, so it's stick shift, right, or automatic. Yeah, so anyone can drive it. It really is a daily driver and then a track car at the same time.
Does this one still have the switches for Andrew to turn on?
Yeah, yeah. In fact,
mode?
yeah, yeah. So the first thing we did once we left there's a dealership here.
What's the horsepower difference with the switches on or off?
Actually, the horsepower, believe it or not, is the same. The difference is the
torque,
the torque, the clutch, not the clutch, the torque, the transmission, and the suspension. The suspension gets really stiff. The transmission shifts at much higher RPMs, and then the downshifts happen so quick. Like, I mean, you can't do it as fast as the car can in race mode on its own. It's nuts. It's faster than a human, which is pretty neat. So anyway, a lot of technology to make you a good driver, but I'm all for it. Why be a good driver when you can just have technology to make you a good driver?
Nice.
Yeah. So that was a really fun car, and me and Andrew are going to enjoy it.
Awesome. So did you hear that this week there was a new wealthiest man in the world?
I didn't hear it, but then I heard it from you. Now, tell our friends the other part of the story.
Yeah, so Jeff Bezos was announced that he was the new richest man in the world, and then less than 24 hours later, Amazon stock dipped just enough to put him back behind Bill Gates at like, let me see, I have the numbers here. It was like 88. He went up over 90 billion, and then he went down to like 88.7.
Wow.
Within 24 hours.
So for people watching, he became the richest man in the world because his stocks went up, right? And since he owns a large share, obviously, of Amazon. But then they went back down.
And if it wasn't for Bill Gates giving away tens of billions of dollars every year, he would be by far the richest man, and nobody would probably catch him. But
yeah.
It's still a pretty good feat considering that 20 years ago he was just selling books out of his garage. So it's pretty impressive either way.
Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding. By the way, I don't know if our friends know this, but Elon Musk, the creator of Tesla and SpaceX, and Jeff Bezos went to university together, and they both had this vision of creating rockets and ultimately even colonizing Mars. And so they've got this really cool rivalry between them where they're both attempting to colonize Mars first. And it's really neat to see billionaires and their toys. It's like, oh, GTR, that's nothing. I got a bigger rocket than you, and they can go to Mars.
You were saying like putting the rockets side by side, they just keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, yeah. So Peter Diamandis, I was at a talk where Peter Diamandis was talking, and ironically, Peter Diamandis went to school with them too. And then he goes,
"It's a good school. What school is that?"
I forget what. Yeah. Obviously, that's where we all got to go. but Peter Diamandis says, so here's the first rocket that Elon Musk made, and then next to it you see like, and then Jeff Bezos made this, and then Elon Musk made that, and then it was just these rockets that kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger with their size and payload and etc. But it's typical boys with their cars, but at the billion dollar level, which is pretty neat to see. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of billionaires, Mark Zuckerberg is actually the youngest billionaire at 33 years old. Damn. And yeah, he's worth like 56 billion.
Good for him.
And did it a little faster than 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's people that, when I first started getting into business, my first thing was like, I want to be a 100K, trainer. And it was everything I could think of to come up with ways to get to that 100K mark. And then once I got there, like the math that your mind does kind of expands. And then I was able to start creating like 100,000 profit streams, trying to get to 7 figures was the next goal. But to make the jump from from $1 million to $1 billion, you really have to reprogram your mind to do better math.
Yeah.
When I'm coaching clients, I always realize like they're still stuck on the lower level math, and you have to get them to see the bigger picture. And all the different coaches that I had along the way, whenever I asked them like what the difference was, between making 100,000 and making $1 million, they're like, just add a zero. And I'm like, can't be that easy, but it is. It's really just a mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, if you just add a zero, so if someone's like, well, I need 30 clients this month, you add a zero, 300 clients. Well, now your mind goes, what do I have to do to get 300 clients? It's a way different level of thinking at 300 clients when you need 300 clients to when you need 30 clients. And so then you go, okay, 300 clients. Well, then how does your dollars change? How does your lifestyle change? Everything changes the more zeros you add.
Yeah, it can be either, I need to get 10x more clients in, or I need to get 10 locations.
Yeah.
It's a lot of different ways that you can get that extra zero. So,
Yep.
for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
So High Times is going public. The magazine High Times, I guess with all the legalization of cannabis, they decided they wanted to go public. So do you think with this
Is that
industry,
broccoli? I've never seen this before ever in my
like
life.
Broccoli to me.
Yes, it's healthy for you.
It's broccoli, right? I put a lot of cheese on it and eat it.
So obviously before it went public or got legalized, there was a lot of people making a lot of money, like El Chapo.
Yes.
So do you think that now that it's becoming more legal in more and more states, that there's somebody that could rise to the top and actually knock Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates off as the richest person through this industry?
You know what, dude? Crazier things have happened, right? Like if you even go back 15 years and you go, hey, could you imagine if the top 2 richest people on the planet had to do with technology and internet? And people are like, nah, man, it'd be real estate.
Yeah, or big oil or something.
Right. It's not oil. It's not real estate. It's technology. So
it's a website.
You know what? Fast forward, 20 years. It may very well end up being this, because what else is going to get legalized if this is legalized to then create a bigger category and more income for people? So I'd be curious to see. And if so, how do I invest in it? Yeah, I guess now that it's public. Do you happen to know what it's trading for?
I don't. And High Times is like, it's the magazine that, it's been around since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
you read it.
when I was a kid.
Right.
Well, like a teenager kid.
Right. At the age of 9, I was reading High Times.
But speaking of technology, and being like the top 2, wealthiest men in the world, being like a website and technology, and then Facebook behind that. Facebook they're working on their messenger bots and their ability to respond, and with their artificial intelligence, and their AI accidentally created its own language that they couldn't even understand, so they shut down the program.
I read about that.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, and it said it was supposed to be like some kind of gibberish, but that gibberish could very well kind of lead to them scheming up on us and then choking us out when we're sleeping, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to be in the Matrix before you know it.
I'm not down for that.
They actually shut down the program because they just couldn't figure out what they were saying.
That's
but they were
crazy.
still able to get the job done by speaking to each other in this gibberish.
Yeah.
It was the most efficient way. It was like more efficient than the English language.
The article that I read on that too went on to say that the AI had gotten so good. Whoa.
Wish the signs were as obvious when you trip.
That the AI had gotten so good at negotiating that it started to create this like fake sense of affinity towards a particular bartering chip, and then in the end said, okay, you can have that in exchange for this. In other words, like what a real good negotiator would do, right? No, I'll negotiate anything except this, and then at the end, of course, you go, well, I want that, and then we have a deal. Okay, here, take it. And so the AI was able to negotiate that way strategically that most humans, it says, couldn't. So
they're saying like in the future, like all these jobs are going to be being taken over by AI. Even like lawyers, right now they're saying like the artificial intelligence can do the research faster and better on a given case than 90% of lawyers out there. So they said the only positions that are going to be left are going to be like specialists.
Yeah.
So, and the same thing with like doctors, the AI can diagnose faster and more accurately than humans already.
I remember reading a stat last year that said Google, if you put in your symptoms, 82% of the time Google's accurate with your diagnosis.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty nuts. For a lot of people who can't afford healthcare, like that is what I would do.
It's pretty crazy. There's this company in Wisconsin that's actually putting implant chips in between the thumb and forefinger of their employees.
What for?
To test it out, so they can scan in, scan out of the place. So they can buy stuff at the snack shop. They can get paid on it, and it's pretty scary stuff.
Huh.
But at first I thought they were forcing like all their employees to do it, but it's only a subset of that are volunteering to keep testing it out, because it's a software company and they want to be the forefront of this technology. But
my dog has something identical to
Right?
that. Yeah, in her hind leg, and it's to track her if she gets lost. And I shit you not, I'm sure there's all those benefits. And I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist or whatever. And look, I got almost 50 people working for me. But I bet you they're going to be tracking some of their employees, because if you call in sick, but then you're at Disneyland, what the fuck is going on, Chachi, right?
Yeah, I think I would have to opt out of that one.
Yeah, same here. What do you mean you're at the weed shop, Jeff? You said you had a fever.
There's already cameras everywhere.
Yeah,
it's
it's just medicinal. It's just medicinal.
Have a card.
Yeah, have a card.
Awesome. So we have a new segment this week. We took out the Would You Rathers because they were getting pretty cool and pretty fun, but we wanted to do what we're calling a closer look so people can get to know us a little bit better. So I have some questions for you, and you have some questions for me to go ahead and answer. So you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Sure. So London, these questions that we wrote out, the top half where it says Jeff, that's what I'm asking Jeff, correct?
Yeah.
All right, just want to make sure I am well prepared for this, folks. All right, so you ready for this?
I think so.
All right, so you're going to shoot right off the hip. What is the craziest thing one of your mentors has done?
One of the craziest things one of my mentors has done. I remember this one time I joined the mastermind of one of my mentors, and it was the very first mastermind that he put on, and it was in Las Vegas. And we were just having so much fun that he decided to get like this booth at a Snoop Dogg concert.
Oh, God.
And pretty much spend all of the profits that he made at the mastermind on this Snoop Dogg concert.
I hear he went way over the profits.
People were puking over the side of the table, and it was fun, and nobody's ever forgotten it.
That must have been a stupid mentor who would do that. Who would spend more than 5 times the profits of their first mastermind meeting and take all of their clients to a Snoop Dogg concert?
I remember a couple people taking a look at the check and just keep passing it over.
Are you ready for this one then? $27,000 for like 3 hours at a what club was that?
I can't even remember. I barely remember.
That was in Aria, and it was called, it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, people were being wheelchaired out from our group, and I remember asking one of the bouncers who was wheelchairing them out, I said, hey, these are my clients. Are they going to be okay? I don't know where you're wheeling them to. He's like, oh, yeah, they're going to be fine. You paid so much money. We're going to take them back there and nurse them back to health. And when he said that, I'm thinking like $2 or $3 grand is what the whole thing was going to cost. $27,000 bill. Yeah. Even crazier is when I then handed the credit card over, American Express instantly does the whole red flag thing. And so it was around 2 a.m. At 2:01, my phone rings, and it's my wife. Like, hey, the card's been compromised, $27,000 charge. I'm like, no, we're good. We're having a wonderful time. You got to be here. Anyhow, that was definitely a very crazy thing that your mentor did. What a nut. All right, so what quote or saying do people spout out, but is complete bullshit?
Let's see, a quote or saying that people spout out. It's not really a quote. It's more like a buzzword that I keep hearing people saying all the time lately. It's like, hey, I've really been in the flow state lately, and I can't stand that term. For me, I'm a pretty straightforward mindset kind of guy. You either want it or you don't, and to be in like flow state, I just spouts BS to me.
Yeah. Do you think it's a lot of woo-woo stuff, like the whole flow state and all that?
I mean, I think it is. You can be like, in the zone. Like when I used to play basketball growing up, we call it in the zone. Yeah. But they talk, I don't want to mention any actual names. But,
I'm dying to know who now.
Just some different podcasts who I thought, listened to a couple, thought they were good, and then they start talking about this stuff, and I just totally lose all credibility, in my eyes. Like talking about like trying certain types of drugs for the first time and puts them in the flow state, but they only tried it like one time, and then they're an expert talking about ayahuasca or mushrooms or whatever they want to talk about.
I think it might be the same person, but that same dude recommended that I microdose with some like high-level mushrooms and acid, and that I would be in the flow state. I had to remind him that I can just drink coffee and easily be in the flow state and grow an empire like I have been. Whereas if I took acid, I would probably think that marker board would chase me down the street or something, and then I'd be all fucked up. Yeah. All right. So, awesome. What would you name your boat if you had one?
Oh man. Well, you're the one that told me not to buy a boat. You say,
Right.
What do you say if it floats or?
If it floats, flies, then you rent it.
Got it. But if I happen to buy a boat, it would probably be because I like, my alone time, and I would probably name it like A Loan at Last, like A-LOAN, because I probably would have to, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right and get a really, really big one.
Yeah.
So would need a loan. Plus, I like to be alone. So
A
you know,
loan,
alone at last.
Little double,
Exclamation mark.
double meaning there. I like that. I like that. All right, what ridiculous thing have you tricked someone into doing or believing?
So I don't usually trick too many people, but so there was this girl that was in my boot camp, and her and her we had like, well, first of all, there was like this trail behind my old house in Baltimore. It was like the NCR Trail, North Central Railroad. So it used to be a railroad track. They took the railroad tracks out, and now it's like a trail people ride their bikes on, run on. Pretty much flat. Like there's like a 1 degree incline going one direction and 1 degree decline, barely noticeable. But anyway, so this girl in my boot camp signed up for this for the marathon they have on there, and her and her friend. So one was running half marathon one way, one was running the other way. Well, the trail goes north to south. So when she told me that her and her friends signed up for the marathon, they were going to split it, I was like, well, which way are you going? Are you going north or south? She's like, oh, I'm going north. I was like, oh, that's uphill the whole way. She's like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that, going north. Because she was thinking like north is uphill.
Got
I
it.
was messing with her. And she was so upset thinking that she's running uphill.
But either way, it'd be straight.
It's pretty much flat the whole way. So she was pretty upset that she had the uphill way. And I think really it was like the opposite. Like the north has like slight downhill, but you really can't even notice it.
Was she pissed off at you once you figured it out?
She just felt dumb, I guess.
Oh, all right, where's the worst smelling place you've been? See, I'm actually very curious about this one since he's been overseas, right? Yeah.
Yes. So when I got out of the Air Force, me and a childhood friend of mine, we went to Africa for 30 days and just backpacked around, climbed Kilimanjaro, went to Zanzibar. So there's lots of smelly places there, but the worst was when we were heading back to Nairobi from Mombasa. We took this train, and it was so hot, and it was like these old like polyester or plastic like seats, and they were just so dirty from all the dust coming through, and you're sweating, and you had like brown sweat like running down your arm. And the train itself smelled really bad, but along the way we were stopping, and when you stop, you're stopping in like the slums of Africa, and these guys, like their houses are built like this far from the train, and so I'm like putting the windows up when we're stopping, and the one stop was like where all their communal like outhouses were, and it was so bad. Like we had to put the windows up so we wouldn't like puke on the train, but that has to be probably the worst smelling place I've ever been.
Huh. Fascinating.
Awesome. So I have a couple questions for you as well.
Sure.
So what are some things that your brain tries to make you do and you have to will yourself not to do it?
Yeah. So I got this weird way of locking onto things. And so right now in my office, all the walls are blue, but there's a little corner where two walls meet, and there's a tiny little chip, and I lock onto that. And so I'll be sitting there typing, and I'm just locked on, and I'll stop typing, and I'll lock on. And then I'll start trying to text like Valentina, like we got to get this. And I'm thinking like, what am I doing? This is not on my 5%. Someone's going to come through soon enough and see it. But I will lock on the stupidest stuff. That same lock-on feature has helped me also build an empire, right?
Yep.
Because I'll lock onto that. But like the GTR, we drove it yesterday. Today it's already getting the roof wrapped, like I told you. Wednesday, it goes to Empire Nissan, where they're going to do something that I need them to do. There's nothing that needs to get done. And then it's going to Fountain Valley after that to get souped up. Like, I'm locked onto that, and so until it's exactly how I want it, like just like with all my cars, I won't let go. And so it kills me when I do this. Kills me.
What is the most useless talent that you have?
Oh, yeah, it's a very useless talent. You guys have a quarter or a nickel or a dime, some kind of, if not, no worries. But
Currency?
yeah, basically, you know what? I could do it with this, watch.
I have the coins in my office. Grab one of those big coins.
Oh, the bigger coin?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bigger coin works, but I can put anything on my elbow, and I've gotten up to a stack of 12 quarters.
Nice. I used to do that when I was a kid.
Yeah, and then I can do this and catch them, which is,
Heavy.
That's like pure silver.
oh wow. And then I'll just put this in my pocket and take it. But if all goes well, it should not hit you in the face. Can we see this?
Yes.
All right. So, but to do like with a stack of 12 quarters is actually really impressive. But it's absolutely useless. Yeah.
I got 5 more coins.
Great. Bring them. Just put them in my car.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the dumbest way that you've been injured? If you don't have to limit it to one.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I got many. So there was a dumb one where what was that? Not a sea urchin. What the hell was that? Underwater? Stingray. Yeah, stingray got me right in the foot. Yeah, few weeks ago. But the dumbest way that I've been injured was when I trained back with Josh Carter out here in Chino Hills. This was in 2010, 2011. We trained back for like a whole hour, all types of pulling exercises. And then as we're walking out of the gym, there's like these 2 ropes hanging. And Josh looks at it, and then he asks the guy who owns the gym, he goes, hey, what are these for? He goes, oh, you just shimmy your way up, right? And Josh tried it, and he's like, nah, I'm not going to do this. I'm like, out of my way, Carter. I got this.
He's watching, by the way.
Is he? All right, so he'll remember this. So I start going all the way up, and then you just kind of hit this bell, and then you come back down. But, after all that pulling, my arms were tired. For some reason, I decided to let myself hang off one arm, my right arm, just take a little breather. My fucking bicep just tore right off and rolled up like a Venetian blind. And so as you can see the scar there. So I come crashing down and I'm like, Carter, look. And then he goes, you tore your bicep. I'm like, no, my bicep collapsed. He's like, what the fuck is a bicep collapse? Like there's no such thing. I just couldn't believe it. But yeah, so I tore my bicep and had to get that surgically reattached. Like I had no business climbing up that rope. And I should have sent Carter up there instead. Yeah.
Was it underneath the skin or the skin went up?
No, underneath the skin.
Yeah,
So like the bicep,
tore.
yeah, my bicep was up here. Yeah, and when
Skin didn't tear.
Yeah. What's the matter with you, girl? The skin didn't tear. What am I, some freak show?
Then you had a good one this last winter in Mammoth.
Oh, dude, that was, see, there's so many I forget. That's a real good story to tell. So me, Jeff, our families went snowboarding in Mammoth was it January?
No, before Christmas, in December.
December, and it was the second day, the last run of the day. Me, Jeff, and my son are on the lift, and we about 80% of the time I'd get off the lift just fine, but the 20% of the time I'd fall on my ass. This one time I was going to fall, and I don't want to bump into my son, so I threw my body. And I landed on my hand, right? And all of a sudden, this burning sensation, like someone stuck a hot burning poker right into my hand, went through my hand. I'm like, fuck, right? But whatever, I just buried my hand in the snow for a couple minutes and then went down, snowboarded down the mountain. That night, we're having dinner, and I'm just like pounding the beers because it hurts so bad and it's throbbing. I'm thinking it's just my wrist, sprain my wrist or whatever. Nothing changes. So in May, 4 months later, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should go have this looked at because I like when I do curls, when I do any kind of pushing, it hurts, and I'm just wrapping my wrist really tight. Now I'm wrapping it like halfway down my palm, right? And so the MRI results come back, and the doctor's like, well, you did break your scaphoid bone, but for some reason it healed perfectly together. And he shows me the picture. He goes, if we put you in a cast for 8 weeks, this is how it would have healed. So you're good. Yeah. So I somehow magically healed myself. But man, that was
pretty much the same break that your son had from
into
your garage.
Yeah. My son, he was riding his it's called a Razor down the hill, and he smashed into the garage. And of course, I'm like, buddy, man up, you're good. Put on your soccer gloves and go be a goalie. And he's hurting himself the whole time. But anyway, after that, we went to took him to a doctor.
Nice. So, what is the coolest / best, and what is the weirdest / worst purchases you've ever made?
Oh, the worst purchase is easy. The one right down the street, the building. I spent $1.1 million on a building across the street from the Chino State Prison, thinking that was going to be our headquarters. 11 days later, I had buyer's remorse, and so that was the worst purchase I've ever made.
Was it mainly because of the prison, or was it because of the actual building, or both?
The building, even though we couldn't do anything to the outside because it's got the association and all that, my plan was to make I was going to spend about $1 million on the inside to make it a real cool loft-like feeling, open floors, 2 stories, all that. So once you got in, you would forget the outside and the prison. But then I was reminded that the prison's kind of a big deal, and when you get new coaching clients or Fit Body Bootcamp owners to show up to the headquarters, that's not the best first impression. So instead, we ended up getting a bigger building. But I do have a massive building for sale in Chino, right across the street from the men's prison. Actually, it's not for sale because I'm building it out into a gym. Yeah. But that was the worst decision. The coolest purchase, what was the coolest purchase I did? Shit, I don't know.
Maybe one of your cars, the Shelby, or.
You know what? It was probably the Shelby, the '64 Shelby Cobra, and there was a replica because there was 2 left, and then Bill Cosby bought one for $1.7 million, crashed it, so there's only 1 left now. But all the rest you see on the road are replicas. But it's the one that I bought from Dax Shepard, simply because when I was a personal trainer, one of my clients would roll up in a Shelby Cobra.
Nice.
And I was like, holy cow, what kind of car is that? He's like, it's a British car with an American engine in it. You want to ride? And I went on a ride with him, and I was like, one day when I make it, I'm going to buy that car. So it wasn't so much the car itself, it was more what it signified, but that was probably my coolest purchase, that I was able to buy it cash. And then after maybe about a year, we auctioned it off, and the money went to Richard Branson's Virgin United Fund, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you've never had any issues with your name, you know, Starbucks or growing
Oh
up
yeah,
or
no
anything
one
like
messes
that,
up my
but
name.
If you had to change your name, what would your new name be, and why would you choose that name? And it can't be Pete either.
Yeah, it would be Bob. It would be just something simple, you know, Bob, because everybody just slaughters my name. I've been called Bedro, Pedro, Pedros, and Bedrock. It's nuts. So it would just be Bob, because just don't fuck
Where
up my
did
name.
Pete come from? And because I know you use that at Starbucks.
Oh,
and
it's
a lot of your friends that I meet still call you Pete, like Shanta calls you Pete.
Yeah. So Bedros is the biblical translation for Peter from the Bible. So it's just in English the Bible's Peter. In Armenian, I guess it's Bedros in the Bible. So I just went with Pete because everyone would call me everything but my real name. Yeah, that's where that came from.
Awesome. And so we have another new segment. This could go really good or it could go really bad.
Okay.
We're calling it the free-for-all. I guess it's a game.
I'm nervous.
London wants to know how up-to-date we are with our, and how hip we are with our slang.
You'll see how unhip I am in just a moment.
So how is this going to work?
Okay, so I'll throw a word up on the screen, and then I'll throw up an explanation of what the word, like a hint, and then you have to guess what that word is.
All right.
Okay.
Trill?
Trill.
Trill.
Trill. To thine own self be trill. I would say means true.
Yeah, like be
like your true identity.
authentic.
It's two words made into one. So true is one.
Real.
Yes.
Trill.
Be true and real.
Real.
Okay.
Nice.
Got it.
Trill.
Yeah. Wait, is that Suge Knight?
It looks like Suge Knight.
We're trying to figure it out.
That probably is the best person to put up there. I think he's in jail right now for running somebody over in his truck, but.
That guy's a nut.
Next word.
Bay. So I've heard of this one before.
That's
like
where the
your
water comes in, right?
That is one. When you see Bay flirting with another dude, so like your significant other.
Oh, okay. Wait, really? That's what they call
Yeah.
like
My Bay instead of my boo. My Bay.
Oh, okay.
Bay's coming or Bay's texting. It means
Does it stand for something like an acronym?
yeah.
Oh,
It's,
see, I did not know that.
Before anyone else.
Before anyone else. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
Jack could be your Bay.
Like a pretzel for me would be my bay.
Your Bay. Maybe that's why they're called bagels.
Bagels, yes. Exactly. It's pretty much a pretzel.
Yeah.
Huh.
FOMO.
FOMO.
Oh shit! I should let you guys guess how it's. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know this one. You know this
I've heard
one.
this
Yeah,
one,
yeah. Because it's industry specific. It's fear of missing out.
Yes.
Come on, girl, give us a big one. Give us a big one.
One out of three.
All of a sudden, I'm talking shit. I get 1 out of 3. I'm talking shit.
Slide into the DM.
That sounds very sexual.
It sounds like a song. Like down in the DM.
But what does it mean?
Huh.
Seen your post, so I slid in your DM.
Oh, you got that.
Direct message.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The hint gave it away. Yeah. Is there any way to get rid of the words? I just want to see it all right now. I want to see it all. That would be me when I came to America. That was me, right?
You'll see him in your DM later.
That's great. Yeah, hit me up, bro, or bae. Yeah, that's funny. Oh shit.
Close.
I think I can figure this one out.
Okay. I have no idea. As fuck.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a fuck.
Oh. I don't give.
Is that right?
Ding, ding.
Dang, that was good, man. Had you seen that before?
No.
That was good. That was good.
That was one of the few acronyms that I've seen that the first thing that came to mind was what it is.
Got it.
Now
That
you
was.
guys can text to each other efficiently like those AI.
Yeah. I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna text you bae, and I don't give a fuck.
Are we going to do the Armenian ones or no?
No.
No Armenian. We're going to do Armenian slang. But
Yeah, but
cool.
we're better
So
off
next
now.
up is our rare breed, our unicorn of the week.
Unicorn sighting of the week.
And this week it is none other than Charmaine Ironside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Professional or ex-professional snowboarder.
Yeah. She won't talk about it much, and I think she should. But Charmaine was a ex-professional snowboarder who broke her back, went into a deep, dark depression, and now she's got 2 Ironside Fitnesses in Calgary, her own personal training kind of studios, which are rocking. I mean, she's one of our top performers in the 7-figure mastermind. And check this out. She took the leap. I got a text from her about 8 months ago saying, "Hey, I think I want to dive into info marketing as well." I was like, "Are you sure? You're really killing it with your offline businesses." Like, why? She goes, "I know my message needs to carry further." And so she created the Diet Dropout, was afraid to do videos, just started to every day I'm going to wake up and do a live video or some kind of video, and now her online info product is killing it as well. And so here's someone who is, I was talking about the weed and the cockroach, the cockweed. Like, here's someone who has taken that cockweed mentality of being fully resilient, never giving up, and really applying it to what her gift is on this planet. So Charmaine's a champion.
Awesome. Congratulations, Charmaine.
Yes.
We'll be mailing you a kick-ass rare breed t-shirt.
Yeah, in 16 months, they're in production.
They are in production.
Yes.
It could be a while. Awesome. Well, that's all we have for you guys this week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys soon.